Hey guys, Johnny Crimson 2000 here in the flesh. Am I uglier than you thought I'd be? So anyway guys, thank you for joining me for my first ever Q&A response video. Thank you for all of you guys who submitted your questions. For those of you who don't know, a couple of weeks ago I put out a video asking people to ask me any questions that they had for me, whether it be related to my YouTube channel, my Let's Plays, my reviews, whatever it was, or if you just had a question, I just put it out there to see if anybody wanted to ask me anything, and I'm ready to answer your questions. And first of all, the first thing that I'm going to say right now is I have a couple things to kind of a couple questions, a couple of things that I think I need to answer beforehand before we get started answering any of you guys' questions. So the first thing that I want to talk about is one of the questions that I have asked of me in the past, by no one in particular, but one thing that keeps getting brought up is whatever happened to my Capcom Arcade Classics series retrospective, my retrospective series, where I take a look at old Capcom Arcade series and whatever happened to them, or give a history of them. And the short answer to that is that it's currently on hiatus. The series is currently on hiatus. The long, detailed answer is that when I first started, well, the long answer is I hugely underestimated the amount of time and effort that it took to make a single episode in that series. Initially, what I was setting out to do was I had a list of about 10 different games, and I was going to do a retrospective of each one of those 10 games in the span of about a summer. I was done with my semester at college, and this was going to be like my little project for the summer for the next 2-3 months. And I thought I could do it, but as it turned out, it was taking a lot longer than I planned, than I anticipated. Just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, the Strider video took me about a month to make. The Cheeky Boys video took me about 2 to 3 weeks. Captain Commando took me about a month and a half, and then the last one that I did, which was the Final Fight video part 1, took me about 2 to 3 months. So yeah, so as you guys can see, it was taking me a lot longer than I thought it would, and unfortunately I had to put that off to the side because it was getting in the way of me doing any more videos, because I was just investing all my time and effort to doing that. On top of, it was getting in the way of my, it wasn't really getting in the way of my social life, but social life, work, school, it was just too much. So for now, the series, the good news is that it's not canceled. The bad news is that I'm not doing anything with it. I am planning on going back. I know that some people have been looking forward to watching part 2 of Final Fight, and it is getting out there, just not right now. I am planning on at least doing that one, so please be patient. It is coming out, I just don't know when. But in the meantime, I have started other series like Hidden Gaming Gems, my reviews. I just started last week my Q of the Week weekly question, where you can get a shout out from me if you respond to the videos, which is pretty good. I'm hoping that that you guys like that. And of course, my weekly series every Sunday, which is my Roulette Sunday, which is where I go on Twitch and play live a game from my library. So hopefully you guys are getting entertained by that on top of my Let's Plays. So there you go. The second thing that I want to address right now is you guys may be wondering why it took so long for me to come in front of the camera. I'm right here. This is Johnny Crimson 2000. This is what you've been hearing for all this time, for all these past 3 years. There's various reasons why. The first reason is that I'm a private person. I didn't want to, I don't want my image being all up in YouTube and stuff. The other reason is that I really didn't have any reason to go in front of the camera. All my videos, my Let's Plays, they're post-commentary. Most of them are post-commentary. Some of them are live. But you don't need to see this. There's no reason to see this during your Let's Plays. So even in my reviews and even my reaction videos, I treat them more like podcasts. So there's no reason to see any of this when you listen to my responses. So I don't know. You guys let me know if you guys prefer watching me talking to you guys. The reason why I did it now is because I felt that the Q&A session, it's meant to, for you guys to connect with me. It's meant for me to connect with you guys, to let you guys know who Johnny Crimson 2000 the person, and not the little 8-bit Ryu avatar is. it's sort of right now it's meant to connect you guys with me, and hopefully this is working out. But let me know if you want me to do more on camera stuff. Honestly, the other reason too why I haven't been, as you probably noticed right now, I don't have the best webcam to do this sort of stuff. I have a little cheapo webcam, which is why it's all blurry and stuff. I don't know if you guys can even see this right now very well, but that's also the reason why I don't really bother getting in front of the camera, just because the quality is so bad. But I don't have really any need to buy an expensive HD camera. I really only have the webcam really just to talk to friends and family on Skype. So who knows? All right, so that's that. Let's go on. I wasted enough time. Let's go on with answering some of these questions here. I'm going to go ahead and answer some of you guys' questions here that you guys wrote down. And let's see. I'm just going to go in order. I've also written down some of the questions that I have here. The first question comes from Beautiful Soul 21. Asks, what do you think of the new TMNT movie? And really the short answer is I haven't seen it yet. I plan on seeing it soon, but honestly, Michael Bay directing it really got me worried. I've heard mixed things about it, even from TMNT fans, so I'm not exactly sure what to think of it. I'm still gonna go see it at least once, but the designs of the turtles kind of scare me. I don't know why. They look like Shrek to me. But really, you're just gonna have to wait until I actually go see it. I plan on doing a reaction video, like I do most big things that I like to sort of put my perspective out there. I'm probably gonna do the same thing with TMNT if you guys want to know my thoughts about it. But I recently rewatched the original TMNT, the one from the early '90s, and it got me really excited about the turtles again. I actually just did a commission piece. I'm an artist, by the way, a graphic designer / digital artist, and I recently did a commission piece for this video store, and I did like a splatter paint. Maybe I'll put a link or something. I don't know. And so yeah, I've gotten back into Turtles, but even this new movie, it's got me worried. So I don't know. I'll have to watch it, but for now, I'm a bit skeptical. But I'll have to watch. I'll have to wait until I watch it again. Or for the first time rather. Deckless Sober asked, have you heard of Skylanders? Why is your username Johnny Crimson 2000, and have you ever been in a fight? Alright, so the first part is, have I ever heard of Skylanders? I've heard of it, I've never played it. I think that's the one where you buy little action figures or whatever, and you put the, whatever, they give you extra stuff. I'm not sure. The only thing that I know, maybe, if I'm getting it right, is that Spyro is part of that, which I think if he is, I think they're completely misusing Spyro. Spyro and Crash just seem to have fallen off the planet. They used to be pretty big, and now all of a sudden they're not doing anything. I don't know what's going on with them, but Skylanders, I've never really played it. I don't know what it is about. All I know is that it's the little, I always see like little action figures, so I'm assuming it's one of those things where you buy action figures to like give you the character or whatever it is. I think it's the same thing with Disney Infinity, but I could be mistaken. Why is your username Johnny Crimson 2000? It actually goes back a long time, way back to 2005. One of my friends was setting me up with my own personal email account from with Yahoo, and prior to that I was just using my dad's email account to sort of get stuff done, but I never had one of my own, and my friend was helping me kind of get my own account ready, and I just kind of started thinking, what's a cool name, what's a pretty memorable name, and the Johnny part basically just comes from my name. My name is Jonathan, but some people call me John, some people call me Johnny, so I just chose Johnny. Alright, we got Johnny. Crimson is really just because I like the name Crimson. It's not necessarily that I like the color Crimson. I think it's a nice color, but it's not my favorite. I just like the name Crimson. So Johnny Crimson, and then I added a number to it, to my original Yahoo account, which I'm not going to say because I don't want you guys, random YouTube people, sending me emails to it, but it is a number. When I came to YouTube, I took that same formula, Johnny Crimson plus number, and I just chose 2000 because I thought 2000 was a memorable number. So that's how I got Johnny Crimson 2000. So I've had the name Johnny Crimson for like a long time, almost like a decade, which is kind of weird to think about. And in internet age, that's a long time. And have you ever been in a fight? First of all, even though I have this thing here, this isn't a birthmark, or it's not like a huge freaky looking mole. This is actually a burn that I got. I just got back from the beach. I went on vacation and I was body surfing, and I beefed it pretty bad, and I got my my face scratched at the bottom of the sea, I guess the beach. But no, I didn't get this from a fight. I train in martial arts. I've trained in martial arts for almost over 10 years now. My main style is Taekwondo, and I also train in Muay Thai kickboxing. And I've also studied a little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Capoeira, which for those fighting game fans out there would remember that from Eddie Gordo from the Tekken series. But so I don't know if that counts. I've competed in tournaments and stuff, so I guess as far as fights, then yeah, I've been in plenty of fights, but nothing as far as just out and about, you know, going onto a random bar and just, you know, like smacking somebody and just like, I'll challenge you to a duel. Like, I've never had that happening, but I like to think that if I ever did happen to if that ever did happen, I would be ready. So I guess that counts. I don't know if that answers your question. All right, next up we have Gear TV Kessel, or Geert V. Kessel. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. What do you consider to be your favorite game of all time? Also, how did you decide to start doing stuff on YouTube? And were you nervous when you started it? All right. What do you consider to be your favorite game of all time? I don't really have a favorite game. Like, I don't even have like a top 10. I just have games that I remember and that I really love. I'm a bit kind of skeptical of putting my favorite game of all time, because this week it could be like Mario, and then next week it could be like Street Fighter. So I can tell you some of my favorite games. Some of my favorite games include, the obvious choice would be Ocarina of Time. I love Wind Waker. I love Twilight Princess, even though some people are a little bit a mixed bag with that one. I love Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, Garo, Mark of the Wolves, King of Fighters, 96, 97, 98, 2011, for those King of Fighter fans out there. And I love Rival Schools and Project Justice. I love Darkstalkers 3. I think that's the best one in the series. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3. I really like 3. And Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario 64. I love Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2. Smash Brothers, Melee, Brawl, all of them really. And one of the series that I will say, though, that may not be as like typical, you know, I really love the Jet Set Radio series. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, one of my dream LPs that I want to do for this channel is the Jet Set Radio series. The only downside is, as much as I love Jet Grind Radio, I'm not that good at it. I've beaten Jet Set Radio Future for the Xbox like a gajillion times, but Jet Grind Radio, I'm a little iffy. That's the only reason why it's, you know, if it were up to me, I would just do Jet Set Radio Future. I would beat that game. I would do like the LP like 5 times if I could. But I really love that series. I can't wait for them to eventually come up with a sequel. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Alright, so next question is, how did you decide to start doing stuff on YouTube? Really, it was by complete accident. Originally, me and my friends were going to set out to make our own sort of nerdy website, things catering to anime, techie stuff, electronics, video games, comic books. It was going to be a group of us, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Some of us had jobs, some of us had work to do, so it fell apart. Originally it was going to be sort of like we were going to do reviews, previews, our thoughts, bloggy stuff. Imagine Screwattack.com, but on a smaller scale. And one of the components was that we were going to have a YouTube account associated with it, so we can upload videos to it. So at the end, it was basically just me. I was left with video editing software, video capture software. I had my Dazzle and stuff like that. So I still had a way to record footage. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take this idea and just roll with it. I've seen guys on YouTube that have a lot of fun with it. They're not the most professional people in the world, but they're still, you know, they still have fun with it. They still have their little niche fan base and stuff like that. So let me see how far I can take it. on my own, and that's essentially what happened. And I actually have, excuse me, I just hiccuped there. I actually have a very nice story that I want to tell, that I want to share with you guys about one of my first experiences with with getting started and stuff like that. So I'll probably go ahead and put a nice link somewhere around here. So somewhere around here, somewhere in there, in that vicinity. I really want to share this story. I think it's gonna help you guys if you want to get started on YouTube and stuff like that. So go watch that story. It's a nice one. And was I nervous when you started it? Yeah. I mean, I didn't know if people were gonna watch. I think that's one thing that a lot of YouTubers, people who go on YouTube, that's one of the big worries is, you know, whether people are gonna watch you. Is this gonna be worth it? Is it, you know, are you actually gonna have subscribers and stuff like that? And if you want some advice from me, if I am allowed to give advice, because I'm by no means am I a popular YouTube at all. It took me the longest by the end of my first year I probably didn't even have 100 subscribers. But if I can give some advice to you guys, it would be that just if you have a passion for something, just do it, you know. Just do it. Eventually people will start to like it. And you know, I'm not doing this to get paid. I'm not doing this as a job. I'm doing this as a hobby because I like to do it, and that's the way that I want to keep it as. I don't want to get pressured to do anything. I put pressure on myself, but I still have a lot of fun doing it. And, you know, I'm having fun right now answering you guys' questions. I'm glad that you guys wanted to ask questions, but really, if you just want to do it, just do it. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have 10 subscribers, 15 subscribers. If it makes you happy, then go for it. That's all I can really. I mean, I've been doing this for like 3 years, and I'm nowhere near YouTube famous by any means, but I'm still having a lot of fun doing it. All right, so Golden Shadis, I think that's this person's name, asks, what are your top 5 favorite anime? What was the very first video game you've ever played? How many different types of series have you seen before? I'm not exactly sure if you mean anime or video game. If you don't know the exact number, give me a good ballpark estimate. What series do you hate the most? Alright, I'm gonna go by. I'm a little bit confused by your question, but whatever. Let's do this. Alright, what are your top 5 favorite anime? I don't really watch. I'm not a big anime person. I like anime. I'll watch anime, but I'm not a big. Like, if you were to tell me like what are your top 5 animes, they're probably all gonna be very, very cliche. So, but you know, here you go. I like Dragon Ball Z. That was probably the first big anime that I ever watched back in Toonami, the days of Toonami, back when it was Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Voltron, Reboot. I don't think Reboot counts as anime, but just to throw it out there, I really like Reboot as well. I like Ronin Warriors, if anybody remembers Ronin Warriors. I also like Saint Seiya. I think that's the name of the series, which is like they're warriors, but like they get armor based off of the Zodiac. I really like that one. I love this is like a random movie. You may not think that I would like this movie, but I really, really like it. I recently watched the movie From Up on Poppy Hill. I thought it was a very awesome anime movie. It's a drama, so it's not like an action thing. So if you're into Dragon Ball Z, this is by no means the type of movie that you'll watch. But I really, really liked it. Again, the name is From Up on Poppy Hill. I love that movie. I've been trying to find it so I can purchase it, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. I rented it from the library, so maybe I need to rent it again. Aside from that, some other typical ones that I guess would be, I love Ghost in the Shell, the movie, Akira. I really love Akira. I love Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. Really love that one. Fatal Fury, the animated movie. I really love that one. Rurouni Kenshin is a series that I really like. What's another one? Ninja Scroll is also another really cool one. Like I said, I'm not a big anime guy, so some of these answers may seem very typical, I guess, but that's really the best I can do for you. So, what was the very first video game that you've ever played? I don't know. It was either Super Mario Brothers, Street Fighter 2, or Popeye, the arcade game, because my grandmother owned a little grocery store, and she had a couple of arcade cabinets, and I remember those games specifically. So it could have been any one of those games that I played for the first time. You know, I always got like free arcade tokens so I can play there, so I can't really tell you which one was my first game. I can tell you that my very first video game system was the original NES with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. So it was one of those two that was my very first home console video game. But those were the days. That's why I really have a big attachment to arcade games, because my grandma owned a couple. How many different types of series have you seen before? I'm not exactly sure what you mean, so I'm not really gonna. I don't know how to answer that. What series do you hate the most? Again, I'm not an anime person, so I'm just gonna assume that you mean by video games. I don't really have a series that I hate. I have a couple series that annoy me, and those two being Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, but not for the reasons that you may think. I think that individually they're really good games. I'm not a Call of Duty guy, I'm more of a Halo guy, but I can still have fun playing Call of Duty. The same thing with Assassin's Creed. I think they're fun little games. The only problem that I had with them, and really the problem that I have with Ubisoft as a whole, is that they just come out with way too many. It's a yearly release. It's getting just as bad as Madden and the whole EA Sports lineup, where you see a new Madden game every year, and there's barely any difference between one Madden of this year against the Madden of next year. And it's getting that way with Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, where there's barely any difference. So I guess that annoys me, and I don't really like that. So, but aside from that, I don't really have a series that I hate, either video game or anime. Again, I chose to answer video games because I'm more knowledgeable about that. So hopefully that answers your question. And that's it, guys. So that's it. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you guys a chance. If you didn't get if you want to ask me any more questions, I'm going to leave the comment section open for this video. So remember, always get the comment section down there, or wherever it may be, whatever player you're looking at this from. And if you have another question that you want to ask me, or if you thought of a new question that wasn't asked this time around, then ask it there. If there's enough questions, if there's enough new questions that get brought up, then I may think about doing this sort of thing again. And also let me know if you guys want to see more of more vlog or blog, if you want to describe it that way, type videos, as opposed to like the podcast type videos when I do my reaction videos. That's something that may change if you guys want me to. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. This has been Johnny Crimson 2000, and be sure to look at that video that I mentioned before that I put the link up. I think you guys will really like it, especially if you're thinking about starting your own YouTube video. So that's it for me, guys. This has been Johnny Crimson 2000, and I will see you guys in my next video. All right, peace out. As always, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to get more stuff from me. In the meantime, if you like my videos, be sure to find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Raptr, and Screwattack.com to see the other gaming-related content that I upload. Info is in the description. Who knows? Maybe you'll like my stuff. Maybe. Maybe.